Man, every time you doing something, you always look like you shining. You always look like you don't got to worry in the world. I mean, all the way back from 20 years, 25 years ago to now. Is it any time during that run, we looking at Kenny through the screen, we looking at him on the stage, but or where we looking at you at, it wasn't what it appeared to be. Your bag wasn't where it was at. Was this? It was really a struggle or a little fight for. Was it any
Yeah.
time like that?
I mean, there've been plenty of times like that. I think my mission has never been about money though. I put that shit on when I ain't have it.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna figure out how to look good and show up how I want to be received. That's just, I think that's
Hold
part
on,
of it.
this is changing jewels. You gotta repeat that now. You gotta repeat that right there.
Yeah, no,
These changing
I
jewels.
put that shit on because I want to show up how I want to be received.
So how you want to be received?
Because I feel like people where we from, we always did that. Without, I mean, if it was Champion sweatshirts, you had to have a clean one because it was $40 or back then it was probably $29. You know what I'm saying? So I think that like whatever it is, whatever it was that we wanted, we figured out how to get it. But for me, it's never been about money. I always put myself in money's way. I know how to get to the money, but it's never been about money because I didn't want to be a slave to that shit. And I seen, you know, even when I was younger, how money took people's lives, got them locked up. You know, that money's a motherfucker.
Family against family.
You feel me? Your family busts up, you know, you selling drugs to your auntie, you doing shit that you would never, you know, meant to do. So I feel like, yeah, it's been times like that, but, you know, I'm gonna be all right. I think that's, and even my son had brain surgery, you know, people don't even know that to this day. I'm like, he going back to school June 23rd. They're like, what happened? I'm like, oh, he had 3 brain surgeries, last one January. It's like, what? You don't look like you be going through, because what I'm supposed to do, give you my problems and issues? Or I'm supposed to be the light I'm supposed to be. That's the one thing I've always stepped into, my purpose. Now that I can align my purpose and my passion, I just feel like, you know, it's worked this far. I ain't gonna be burdening you with my issues because we all have them.
Right.
My father died last year. A lot of people don't even know my pops passed.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
You know, I appreciate it, but I don't go on Instagram, talk about my problems, do GoFundMe's and you know what I mean? But I think if anybody, and this is a lesson to all hustlers and a challenge to all hustlers, like if you get money, you gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. Don't ever think about like, you know what I'm saying, it's something that you gotta, you know, put your life on the line for though. Don't think it's ever something you gotta, you know, go against your values or integrity to do. And I think that's why I've always shined through. Like to your point of seeing me, people used to judge me by them pictures, you know, oh, that light-skinned nigga, he gonna be, he drag, oh, fuck that, you know, whatever it is, by looking at me, not knowing me. But that's the beauty too of social media, because I think since that has started, people really like, damn, man, like we can go back almost a decade and a half of social media now. Kenny, you changed my life. Kenny, you showed me things I never thought, you know, or if you talk to any humans I've, you know, infected with this positivity, they'll tell you too. He always speaking life. He always pouring into, so.
And that's crazy you say that, what you just said, because my kids, they be around and say a little bit, most of them, they be around me the most. And I tell you, it's hard to explain that you can get money, you can get things, you can get, you know, wealth, whatever you're getting, but it's nothing like you somewhere chilling, mind your business, in line, getting a soda, and somebody walk up to you and say, man, because of you, it changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even, the feeling you get,
it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
And it's exchanging energy.
Right.
I'm in Nobu in Atlanta. They just opened up a new Nobu out there. And I'm with the head of UTA, United Talent Agency. They're my agency, a record. And we just chopping it up. My wife, his wife, you know, soon to be wife, his partner. And this guy came home, he did a 30-piece. And he from DC, I forget the dude's name. He came to my table. He's like, man, I just want you to know you a superstar in jail. He's like, man, we follow your words, man, your actions, man. You know, big shout out to your beautiful wife. Now, mind you, he talking about, because, you know, he go straight into recapping. He don't think about who I'm sitting with, none of that. So I'm talking about some gangster shit, story-wise with them. So they like, damn, because, you know, that night, everybody's coming to say hello, showing their respect. But from the streets to the suites, you know, you got to have that energy. So I'm blessed to have been able to be free, to be able to follow my instincts and my gut, and also be a stand-up human for my race. You know, I feel like we don't have a lot of great examples. We got a lot of false prophets. Niggas doing shit for gain, tell you whatever to get something. But I've been on the right side of history the whole time.
I see you talk a lot about Puff, and he was an inspiration to you in the life, far as the entertainment and party stuff. Y'all had a few business ventures experience together. How did that work out? Or because it seemed like to me, I think I would picture y'all having a long-term relationship. Because obviously you reference his name and do a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
I try to reference him because he's part of my story.
Uh-huh.
Then I try not to talk about how he's a bam ass nigga sometimes. I try not to do that,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
like, I'm just an authentic human.
Right.
And I don't want people to mistake our history together,
Right.
you know what I mean, or his value to culture
Right.
in the things I might have to say, because I'm just going to tell my part of the story.
Okay.
He's done a lot for culture. Again, he was my idol growing up in D.C., actually, because he was at Howard, and I was starting to get into the Howard girls and all that while he was throwing parties and all that here. But I feel like, he's a superhero. We just don't agree on a lot of things. And our industry father, Andre Harrell, God rest his dead, he gone now, but he was always the reason we come back, you know what I'm saying, and do business or, be in some type of, have some type of connectivity. But, I just choose at this point in my life, man, to be around things that are progressive for my growth, I was in the Pinky Cole, she owns Slutty Vegan. She's getting the cover of Jet magazine. And we was rushing to take this picture. And the security guy came, to kind of stand around. I said, could you hold this for a minute? And he was like, nah. I said, could you hold this for a minute, please? He said, nah. And I was like, you bitch ass. And I just, but the point is, I don't ever want to have to be that guy.
Right.
I'm free.
Right.
I'm 50 years old. I don't ever want to have to keep resorting back. And every day I worked for Puff, I felt like we was gonna fight. So it's just and it could be some brotherly shit, but I don't have that relationship with no. I don't have that. My cousin Leo and I, my best friend in the world, we used to fight when we was at a certain age, but after that shit, we grew up. You don't supposed to be fighting with no. If you're in any relationship with anybody, you ain't supposed to be fighting. You want to put your hands on nobody, be arguing all the time. And if y'all get the fuck away from him. So that's
exactly.
And I hope he finds some type of spiritual plane, because we do great business together. We've had some great runs together. So.
And that's crazy, because hearing you out, I didn't know the in depth of why I didn't and why I did, but I would have thought that it was peaches and cream or peanut butter and jelly. But I'm gonna commend you that you still recognizing what he brought to you.
You're a hater.
I respect
if you got a problem,
a lot of people don't do that.
But niggas is haters.
Yeah.
And honestly, people ain't centered with themselves or appreciative of their own shit. Yeah. I'm grateful for dude. You know what I mean? I mean, we made a lot of money together, a lot of history. But I can't let people think that their superheroes won't disappoint them sometimes. Because I found, growing up, meeting a lot of my superheroes, it was like, damn, but you put too much faith in humans instead of putting faith, in God and yourself. So, which you are an example of. So. I be telling these stories so people can understand you're going to go through these things, but you still got, because people see us, like last summer we did P's party, Coach K and P from QC. P had a birthday joint, and we on stage together. First thing we said to each other, nigga, why you something like we whispering each other in, and we go right back to rocking the party. So I think it's love there, but it's also too, I want to fighting for charity.
Y'all, I'm gonna say y'all always get a pay-per-view joint sound like, man, and go in there get some money on that joint, man.
Yeah, he got light skin, brown skin complex too.
Yeah.
So Puff, if you ever want to do that for charity, I'm ready.
Okay. Before we leave Puff, man, you did a lot of work with Damon Dash. Oh, you have a relationship with him?
I gave Damon the movie Paid in Full.
Right.
I did street teams for Rockefeller back in the day for Reasonable Doubt. Shit, I met Jay-Z when he had a song called 22 Twos. Before Reasonable Doubt. I was going to New York, DJ Clark Kent, my OG and big brother, he put me with them dudes, and I was going to Maria Davis Mad Wednesdays in New York. I was going back and forth, put them on their first stage in Atlanta, but we've been friends ever since.
So give me some similarities between, let me say this, give me a difference between Damon Dash as a CEO and Puff as a CEO, the way they mind work.
Well, I say this about any human being. Money, how you, act in certain ways, you know what I mean? And not that money changed either one of them. I think it made them ultimately who they are. And with that said, Damon fought for his a little more to me than Puff. Puff had every black executive that ever existed. Every superstar black executive Puff has had in his system. Why he hasn't kept them and why he hasn't grown his business with all them superheroes in one building like the Justice League, I don't know. Then I think Damon's whole thing was just you know, he was militant about his people. He was, when all that shit you see him doing, he was doing for Jay when nobody believed in Jay. So I can't ever really, I don't have nothing bad to say about him, although we had our little 2 seconds when I left, because, you know, he did the Ryan Kenny deal for me at Rockaware. But he told me some shit that wasn't true, but we got it straight and we straight this day. But I like to tell people
But
the
you
real.
a straight shooter, though. I respect that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
I
can't
respect
have
that.
it no other way because
Right,
see
yeah.
the one
Now
thing.
dudes be bullshit. When niggas get in that bag, dudes bullshit. They
yeah.
push for the round their opinion of
Yeah.
how they look at something.
But I never walked to Brooklyn for cheesecake.
Right, yeah.
I ain't never had.
You gotta give me a note. You gotta give me a note. Oh, you tell me what to do. That's what to show someone. That's why you're jewels.
Well, that's no. He made
that's
the
what
dude.
That
he made
show.
the dude. Yeah,
that producer show.
But I always say that because
Okay.
I never want people to think they gotta do something like that to get something.
Right.
You understand me? So I feel like, you know, when I tell these stories, man, I'm telling these kids, man, you ain't gotta do shit outside your comfort zone. Cause I done seen niggas never come back from it. You know, I'm talking about dead, blown their head off, shit they can't come back from. Not from the people we talking about in general, but from this business. This business is cruel. It'll take your heart, your soul, leave you drugged out, you know what I mean, fucked up. And I just don't want people to have to go through that. So when people see me and they see how I come and how people act when I'm in the room or how the energy shifts from darkness to light, I want people to understand that, you know, you could be that in this world. These motherfuckers don't run your life. You do a service, you provide a service, you provide that service, you stand on your own. Don't get caught up in what they do and think you can handle that shit. Because I'm telling you, I've seen people's souls get snatched. They can't come back. Certain shit you can't come back for. You get high, do some shit you ain't think, you know what I mean, that you thought you could handle when you sober. You got to stay high now.
Speaking of, you seen a lot of stuff and souls not coming back. What's your position or opinion about the word Illuminati in the music? What is define that?
I don't know if Illuminati is real, but there is some hierarchy that runs the world. You know what I mean? Now, in the music business, what do I believe? In the music business, I think, you know, there's a lot of power plays going on. You know what I mean? Like, I think you think about gay and straight, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a blurred line called power with that. And I think some people just with the shits and whatever they can have over you, they'll do to have over you. So I think there's a controlling entity within that business that's, you know, into that other shit, you know what I mean? And you know, you can hear other people talk about it. It's all over YouTube and internet and all that shit about what people think about people, but I've never seen it with my own eyes. But that's because I probably never went through door number 2. You know what I'm saying? Or went on that trip. You know what I mean? It's God has blessed me not to be in the way. You know, I'm here to do a service, a job, get my motherfucking bread, and bust a move. I ain't got time to be, I got my own crew. My friends been my friends since childhood. I ain't, you know what I mean? And anybody I respect, I show love to. I can be in a room with anybody, but, you know, I just didn't go through certain doors.
Right. And you spoke with your little sis Robin, who started probably arguably the biggest, we'll call it, media platform or hip hop platform.
She's a media company.
How did it come to her head? What was she thinking? How she put that together?
Man, she got a story. I be telling her to come. I even told her to come on your joint. I'll come with her.
Look, that's what.
I
told her, say she was like, I just wanted to stay. You know, she James Bond, man. I'm telling you, get out.
I never forget it, man. You know, she always been at my side.
Right.
And one day she told me she was starting a website. She was like, Kenny, I'm at the club and I got this texting thing. And she was fucking with some dude out of Virginia that was good at the shit. And I guess it was when Michael Jordan was here and she did the text. And Michael Jordan was at the club and all these motherfuckers showed up. And she was like, oh, this gonna be something. Right. And I respect her, man. Like, you know, it's not no little game she playing. Right. You know, I'm in the talks with her, like people that's trying to buy the company and things like that. Robin doing all right, man. Right. She just FaceTimed me from her new Sprinter yesterday, with the bathroom and the lay down couch turned into a bed. Like Robin doing her thing, man. And she DC all the way.
Yeah.
Like, you know
She's
what I mean?
Been the Curtbone party.
But guess what? Guess what though? She had to get out of here though to find her, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's sometimes what people don't realize too, man. Sometimes you gotta leave everything you know to get where you going. For real. How many people you know, man, done bust a move and came up? You know? And when you bring it back though, we as a city, man, we gotta do right by the information and the connections. We be running it up, you know, thinking about the one check instead of the many checks. We just do shit so backwards, man. And it's a fucking plague. And I'm tired of this shit for my city.
Right.
But that's why I keep, I try to do these things and have these conversations so people just get out their own way.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Out the park, niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a roll, yeah.
Thank you for watching Changing Jewels on Curtbone TV. If you like the jewels that we are dropping, subscribe, hit the notification, and share with some friends. And I'll see you on the next episode of Changing Jewels, Curtbone TV.